Hello, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Tales, Episode 2, Bitcoin and Beyond. Today we're going to be talking about DasPay WebWallets. Just give me a couple of minutes for the individuals who are registered for the webinar to arrive, and we will get started shortly. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We are live, coming to you from the beautiful and sunny Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. I am your host today. I am BitcoinTeo. I wish all of you receiving this broadcast vitality, blessings, peace, love, joy. I'm sending that to you from my heart, from you to me, or from me to you rather. So please accept that. Today, what we're going to talk about is Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies in general. We'll go over some history, and we'll talk about some challenges. We'll talk about the technology, and then we'll talk about some specifics. DasPay, which is a revolutionary payment ecosystem. We'll talk about wallets, security. That topic will be somewhat high level. I just want to give it as an introduction to the majority of our listeners, and we'll go into much detail with special guests and so forth when we talk about security in future episodes. And then we'll talk about some conclusions and open it up for Q&A. So let's get this party started. As you can see here, the picture on the main screen is a snapshot of a Coinbase wallet. So we will talk about that later on in the presentation. I'm going to go over just very quickly some of the history, challenges, technology, etc., and then we're going to get into the meat of today's presentation. So who am I? My name is BitcoinTeo, and what qualifies me to be able to be your host today? Well, I am a crypto user, so that's really about the only thing that separates me from Roger Ver is a little bit of time. He got into Bitcoin a little earlier than I did, and that's about it. I mean, he's an investor, I'm an investor. He's an advocate, I'm an advocate. Anyone who likes Bitcoin and likes cryptocurrencies can join the club. There's really there's no membership fee, and all you need is an open mind and to see what the potential is with this stuff. Just a little bit about me. I'm going to go over some other tabs here, but This is my Twitter profile. I do post a lot on Twitter with regards to events and news that is related to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Dascoin, other altcoins, and other things that are related, to what the government's trying to do, censorship, lawsuits, etc. So please check that out and follow me there, please. I am an investor, so well, it logged me out there, so I'm not going to show that. But basically, I use Bank of the Future as one of my investment platforms. I'm also a trader, and I trade on Polynex and other exchanges. So I not only use Bitcoin, other altcoins, Ethereum, Lisk, other coins. I also actively trade them. So that's enough about your host. I am qualified, and what I'm going to talk about to you today is how you can get qualified too. Because honestly, all it really is education. And 50% of the world is still without bank accounts, folks, and that's just appalling to me. That in today's day and age, where we can have live Skype calls all over the planet with people on each continent for free. We've got people without bank accounts who can't transfer money back and forth. We can do that for free. We can transfer our voice, our face via video all over the planet for free. But when it comes down to sending money back and forth, my goodness, what a nightmare. Well, unfortunately, that's the system that they've set up. So let's just take a look at where we are. I'm not going to go over this briefly, but you can read. This is a guy that most of you recognize, and he's talking about a world without cash, okay? That's where we're heading, folks. That's where we're going. And a lot of it, don't be scared. A lot of it is, there's a lot of fear out there about getting away from these little pieces of paper with pictures of people on them. But, it's once you educate yourself, you can realize that it has tremendous upside. So I'm going to talk briefly about the birth of Bitcoin. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. You can go back and listen to some previous episodes. Also, we have a wealth of activity and a wealth of knowledge inside the knowledge base on this site, on the Dascoin Diamond site. So please check that out, dascoindiamond.com. Most of the information is available for visitors. And then if you want to become a member, it is free to become a member, and you'll get access to additional content. But Satoshi Nakamoto, in 2008, he saw what happened with Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers and their implosion, and how they basically sucked down tens of thousands of other innocent businesses that just happened to have a relationship with Bear Stearns. And this caused a mass ripple effect in the economy. Satoshi didn't think that was very cool. So he came up with this idea that, wow, we got to be more decentralized, because in a centralized system, you have an octopus, for example, there's lots of arms and lots of tentacles. That's what Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers represented. If you look at the situation today, a bank such as Deutsche Bank, it has a much larger exposure than Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers had. So although they've printed trillions and trillions and trillions of paper currencies all over the planet, they've really not solved the problem. It's only just gotten worse. So Satoshi came up with this idea of Bitcoin, where we have a decentralized distributed system. So let's talk about Bitcoin, really what it is. It was the first digital cryptocurrency. Crypto is a lot of people don't know what really that means. It's basically, if you've ever played the game Rubik's Cube, okay, that's in essence what a cryptogram is. And this is kind of high level. I'm trying to keep this. I don't want to get into the weeds with all this cryptography and so forth, but basically what it means is that you've got a coin that gets mined and created, and as it gets created, it's like the computers have to solve the Rubik's Cube. Okay, that's the best way to describe it. So if you ever tried to solve one, that's not so hard, or not so easy, even the small ones. So that's what these computers do. Now, back in the day, Bitcoin users could mine Bitcoin just using a laptop. You could download the protocol, put it on your laptop, and you could run it. You could run a full node. You could mine, and you could produce Bitcoins on your machine back in 2009, excuse me, when Bitcoin was first born. It's getting more and more because every time a new block is created, that in essence represents the solving of the Rubik's Cube. So what that means is that when once that block is solved, then the Rubik's Cube gets bigger. So the task gets harder to crack that code. So that's where the difficulty factor comes in. That's why, mining has become more and more of a pooled event where people are pooling their funds and buying big mining centers or investing in big mining centers all throughout the world, China, Iceland, other places where power is cheap. And so that's how the mining happens. So we talked a lot about Bitcoin on other episodes, but I just want to give you a little bit more detail there. Bitcoin growth, back in 2009, if you would have put just under 30 bucks in Bitcoin, what you'd normally spend for a few pizzas, it has gone up in price. Now, why is this? Well, because unlike fiat currencies like the US dollar and other similar currencies that are just printed to oblivion, Zimbabwe comes to mind, we've got a system with Bitcoin where there's a limited number. Okay, there's only 21 million coins that will ever be created. Now we've mined approximately 16 million coins at this point, and with basic economics, if you have a limited supply and an increasing demand, then the price goes up. So that's basic economics 101. So the pizza story here and the investment story, if you put just a little bit of money back in 2009 into Bitcoins, that money has grown significantly. Okay, a $30 investment back in 2009 would have yielded $886,000 in 2013. Now it's probably a little bit less than that because you see here on the chart that 2013 was when we had this peak and it went over 1,000. But right now we're just under 800. This graph is not this, but it's still relevant, and we're right under 800 at the moment. So still, it's a very significant investment. So let's talk a little bit more about the pizzas. So originally, people didn't know what Bitcoin was going to be used for. They were just mining it. They thought it was kind of interesting. They were talking about it on 4chan and other types of. Sorry about the noise there. We got some traffic nearby. Apologize about that. But anyway, they didn't really know what it was going to be good for. So the first actual official transaction was a gentleman allegedly that wanted to eat some pizza and was hungry, and he had been mining all these Bitcoins, and he said, hey, I'll give 10,000 Bitcoins for some pizzas. So a guy in London, saw this information, called up a Papa John's or a Domino's or something in the Miami area, and had these pizzas delivered to him and got rewarded with 10,000 Bitcoins. Now, if you calculate that based on the price of current Bitcoin, you can see that those pizzas were quite expensive. But, any market has to have a beginning. So that was the beginning. Now, let's talk about some of the challenges with Bitcoin, because even though it's been around since 2009, it's still not accepted everywhere. It's only accepted at approximately 150,000 tiendas and merchants, where you can walk in and just expect to use your Bitcoin that's in your wallet on your phone. That's expanding every day. A lot of people are working on that. But it is still a challenge for Bitcoin. And also the other graph there I have, this is representative of the blockchain. The blockchain itself, currently I think there's approximately around 5,000 nodes, full nodes that are in existence. And those nodes are what handle the transactions. So not only do they confirm the transaction, so for example, when I send a Bitcoin from user A to user B, okay, it can be 5 feet away, it can be 1,000 miles away, it doesn't matter. That transaction has to get confirmed. So that happens independently. So basically, this is the way the system works. And this is a very high level, simplistic view, but I think sometimes I can explain things in this way that people can understand. So for example, when I send you a Bitcoin, for example, with my phone, what happens is, let's say I had 10 Bitcoins in my wallet. All of a sudden, the system knows through the blockchain where every Bitcoin has ever been since the beginning. So from the first Bitcoin that was mined till the 21 millionth Bitcoin, they've known where every Bitcoin has been. And that's what the blockchain does. It keeps track of stuff really good. Computers are good at that. And the way it does it is kind of technical, but you don't have to get into the details, honestly. This is how it works. So let's say I have 10 Bitcoins in my wallet. Well, it knows they're there. And all of a sudden, I send 1 Bitcoin to you. Okay, so it's in cyberspace, you know, as it's in transit. So what happens? All of a sudden, the matrix of these of the nodes says, whoa, Teo had 10, now he's got 9. Where is the 1? Where is it? And they start looking, searching the internet like crazy to find it. They don't stop until they do, okay? Because they get rewarded for keeping track of these transactions. Not only are nodes used for mining, etc., but they're also working within the network to confirm transactions. So here it is, this transaction, this Bitcoin's out there, it's floating in the mid-air, and they want to know where it is, because they're not going to rest until they know. So all of a sudden, one node sees that this friend of mine, Bitcoin Ryan, received this Bitcoin from me. Okay, so there you go. You get 1 confirmation. They're saying, okay, all right, yep. What started the whole thing was, again, me sending the Bitcoin. So it went from 10 in my wallet to 9. So now the nodes are going, whoa, where's the one? Where is it? Where's the one? Where's the one? Where's the one? Ah, I see it over here. It's with Ryan. Okay, cool. All right, and then we get a second independent node that says, okay, yeah, I got it over here with Ryan too. Okay, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, it keeps going. Now, that process of confirmations takes a little bit of time sometimes. You know, it can take up to 30 minutes. It can take to 3 hours. So this is a challenge. Also, the actual number of transactions that the blockchain can handle right now with the current number of full nodes that are up is approximately 7 transactions per second. So if you look at this graph, this one we're talking about here is kind of like the red and yellow danger zone. We're basically, with Bitcoin Network, we are running on, you know, we're running up in the higher RPMs. You know, we got the Toyota 4-banger, and it's revving up. Okay, we're at fairly high capacity. Now, why is that? Well, there's certain things within the blockchain that are more technical that I'm not going to get into, that have to do with the block size and things like this, and how many. There's this big debate about you know, should we have small block size, large block size? You can do a lot of research into that, guys, and there's a lot of videos about that. So I'm not going to get into that, but just know that Bitcoin is evolving, and they got very, very large groups of people that are working on this project, and they're working to allow Bitcoin to continue to scale. But at the moment, we are currently, you know, in the yellow, in the yellow to orange zone, as far as, like, you know, the danger zone, Will Robinson kind of thing. Let's talk now just a little bit more about the crypto vision here. Here again, we have Richard Branson talking about future currencies. Okay, there may be other currencies like Bitcoin that may be even better. So this is what we're going to talk about now. If you take a look at, there's a number of other altcoins. You know, all it takes to make an altcoin, in essence, you could, if you wanted to, if I wanted to have Teo coin today, or if you wanted to have Mary coin, you could download the Bitcoin protocol, go into the software, change the name, re-upload it, and then say, hey, everybody, I'm accepting Mary coin. Everyone mine Mary coin. You could do an exact copy of the Bitcoin protocol, because it's open source. Now, that's why there's thousands of other coins. What has happened over time is that, you know, why would someone use Mary coin if it's an exact copy of Bitcoin? Well, frankly, they're not going to, okay? So unless you provide value to the marketplace, unless you provide a adaptation, or you provide something better, you know, it does this and that. It does all the best of Bitcoin and this. It does, you know, storage, storing files, or it does this. It's Monero. It helps with anonymity. It does this. It's Ethereum. It has smart contracts on top of it. Or it's Dash. It does, you know, it has these payment features. Maybe it's another one like oh gosh, I could go on and on and on. Okay, there's so much variation within the space, and that's really what's cool about it. As an investor, you can really take a look at the landscape, and you can diversify your portfolio. For example, Mega Upload 2 is something that Kim.com is launching very, very soon, which is a project that is going to take digital content to a whole new level. Because the way it is now, guys, this is what it works. You upload something to YouTube. Let's say it's a happy cat video, okay? And all of a sudden, you know, it goes viral, and then you monetize it. All right, well, this happy cat video all of a sudden is getting like trillions of views all over the planet. People like to look at happy cats. I don't know. So what happens? Well, I can tell you for one what happens. YouTube makes a ton of money. That's for sure. All right. Then if you've taken the trouble to monetize the video from YouTube, literally a few $100s, a few $1,000s, whatever, it's going to be nothing compared to what they're making based on a video that goes viral and gets thousands of views, because they charge the advertisers a much higher rate, and they're making money hand over fist. Okay, so that's the model. And frankly, it's not a very good model, because a lot of times if you put anything that might be a little controversial on YouTube or whatever, then they censor you and they take your ad credits away. So they'll still let your video play like crazy, go viral. But what they'll do then is they'll just strip you from the, you know, any financial gain, you know, which is maybe the whole reason why you were doing it in the first place. So this Mega Upload project, how is this different? Well, it's different in this way. The people that upload content to the internet do it via an anonymous IP, and they can put the stuff up. And also the people downloading the content are on an anonymous IP. So nobody knows who uploaded it and who downloaded it, but the system knows. And let's say that same cat video goes viral with Kim.com's project. Well, then guess what? He pays the content creator in Bitcoin. You got it like that. All right. So and there's no censorship, and there's no it's straight up. You know, it goes viral. Guess what? Guess who gets the wheelbarrows of cash? You, in the form of Bitcoin, not YouTube, and you don't have this huge censorship engine. So that's a big deal. So let's talk about Dascoin now, because Dascoin is a new evolution in this crypto space. Okay, just like Ethereum was a brand new thing with smart contracts about a year ago, Dascoin also supports smart contracts, fellas, people. Check that. That's very, very important. Dascoin and what it is very, very important. We're going to get into that. So let's get down to some of the key elements of Dascoin. We talked about on the last episode some of the things that it does with regards to why it was created. Remember I said Mary coin or Teo coin. Why would someone use it? Well, it has to be good. It has to do something different, something better. So that's what Dascoin does. Dascoin is a whole ecosystem. It has a number of provisions for the issuance of coins based on providing the system with energy or cycles, so that people can, so it can scale. So they have the battery power available when someone, let's say like a trader who's doing trillions of dollars worth of trades back and forth on a daily basis. On a daily basis, the Forex market is about $1 trillion market per day. So that's how many trades are flying around in cyberspace up there. The people are trading yen for dollars, yen for francs, Swiss francs, dollars for pounds, whatever. Okay, it's going back and forth all the time. Mexican pesos for dollars, etc. And these transactions occur at a very high level rate. Currently, the legacy systems that support the back end of these, the back end of this environment are old and they're slow. Okay, MetaTrader 4 is the major trading platform that people use. So if you're a Forex trader, you know what I'm talking about here. So the Dascoin ecosystem and the exchange that supports it has the full scalability. So for example, if you're doing trading with these existing legacy platforms and you want to come over to the Dascoin system, the DAS system, which stands for Digital Asset System, okay, you can gain a 20% speed advantage with your trades. Does that mean if you're doing 100 trades a day, you can do 120? Yes, that's what it means. Okay, you can do 20% more in the same amount of time, or the trades you execute are 20% faster. You see, part of the challenge with Bitcoin, again, was, remember I talked about, was this scalability factor. So if I'm a trader and I see that the Bitcoin network capacity is sitting up there running at 6,000 RPMs, close to redline, and I want to start throwing maybe I don't know, 10 million, 100 million dollars a day worth of trades onto this network, well, are my transactions going to confirm in 30 minutes? Are they going to take 3 hours? If you've got $100 million riding on this transaction, you don't want to wait 3 hours. Trust me, because in that 3 hours you can either win or lose a lot of money. So these guys know this, and this is why it's really important. So that's a little bit about the fundamentals of what the coin does. Okay, now DasPay, how does this come to play? Well, what this is revolutionary in the sense that DasPay is an easy way for the coins that the people that provide the energy to the network, the scalability, they get rewarded for that. So if I give my energy, which is in the form of fiat dollars or Bitcoin to this company, then all of a sudden I get rewarded with coins. I turn over, give me with my license to the network, and then they use those cycles as necessary as the demand for these transactions continues to expand. So when they have this big pool of available cycles, they can deploy tons and tons of different nodes. So there's always this additional capacity that they have available in the system, such that they can take on, hey, the guy's doing $100 million a day in trading. Well, maybe he wants to expand it to 500 million. That's going to be a lot more transactions. So all of a sudden, when that demand hits the system, they got to deploy more nodes. So that's where the battery power needs to be there to be able to support that scalability. If you did that right now with the Bitcoin network, guess what, guys? It would freaking flame out. All right, I would go to red line, and then it would just sputter and die. Now, not to say that that's a bad thing, guys, but it's just a reality. That's why Bitcoin is not supporting these trading platforms at the moment. That's why these guys created such a fantastic idea to support and go for the core traders, the commodity traders, the eventual, over-the-counter traders, which are going to be using the Dascoin system and the exchanges. What I want to do here is briefly, I'm going to show this quick video that the company just put out, and I'm going to go ahead and play it. So, oops, there we go. I'm going to play it. So we'll let that roll. All right.
Meet DasPay, the premier global technology solution for mobile payments and digital enablement. Developed by the same team that introduced Dascoin, DasPay was created to introduce real-world application and utility to Dascoin and other cryptocurrencies. We have accomplished this through unique technology. Long before contactless mobile payments became a reality, we realized that mobile devices would soon power most things in our lives, from communicating, ordering food, booking travel, and even paying for goods and services using electronic money. Our technology partners conceived, invented, designed, and developed the first end-to-end mobile payments ecosystem. In fact, they conducted the world's first ever mobile payments transaction in Paris in 2011. Our technology partners are certified as a prepaid card processor by China UnionPay, Visa, MasterCard, and JCB. Their technology powers some of the world's largest telcos, mobile network operators, banks, and other technology companies. We know that consumers prefer our technology solutions because they can pay for goods and services using their mobile devices. This eliminates the need to go to banks or ATMs to obtain cash. Consumers can simply use their mobile telephones at point-of-sale terminals to pay for transactions. It's that simple. Merchants love our solution because our technology generates a token or record of every transaction. Our powerful technology analyzes every detail of every transaction and empowers merchants to create loyalty, affinity, rewards, and discount programs for consumers based on their buying patterns and spending habits. Banks and telcos love our payment solutions because they can service their existing clients in innovative ways and earn new revenue every time they use their mobile devices to pay for goods and services. DasPay offers quick-to-market, cost-effective payment solutions for banks and telcos alike. This technology is currently being used by credit cards, debit cards, prepaid cards, and even PayPal as payment options using mobile devices. DasPay is excited about its next major initiative, using Dascoin and other cryptocurrencies to power mobile payments. DasPay, empowering the present and future of mobile payments.
Okay, fantastic. All right, so that was, all right, bear with me there. We'll stop that. Okay, so that was the video. Let's go back to the presentation. And, you know, if what that video didn't speak to you there, let me just try to say a few things that it didn't mention. Right now, for example, you know, we have less than half of 1% of the world's population using Bitcoin. So what's that? About 35 million people, 40 million people worldwide. So there's still a huge opportunity with these digital cryptocurrencies. If you have a mind for investing, if you have a mind for, you know, seeing trends in technology, this is something you should really pay attention to. Again, this is not financial advice, guys. This is all just real life advice. All right, this is not even advice. This is entertainment. This is not an investment plan. This is not a, you know, I'm not giving financial advice here, guys. I'm just giving information. All right, because I care about humanity and I see where humanity is, where it's gone, what it's done. I've evaluated some of the hierarchical systems that exist, and I track things that are on the horizon, like this one, that is going to make a big difference. Now, so when you got a system where you know, only 150,000 merchants are taking Bitcoin worldwide, then compare that with the Visa MasterCard network. That conservatively 50 million merchants around the planet are using it. Many of the machines that are equipped in these different shops have this technology which is called NFC, which stands for Near Field Communications. You see that little beacon thing right there that's coming off the phone? Well, this is how these systems work, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on it, but basically the impetus behind Apple Pay was people would go on vacation and they would use their credit cards. Let's say they went to, I don't know, some country down in South America, for example, and they used their card at a restaurant. Well, what happened sometimes is they would get home and they would realize that the guy who took the card to swipe it in the back, he also made a copy of it. And then therefore, they were able to somehow get the codes and get in and access and make transactions with that card. So you get back from vacation, you're having a great time, and then all of a sudden you get this notice from your credit card company, oh, wow, that we have all these transactions. Okay, so that's fraud. And people do this. People are trying to steal all the time. Very, very sophisticated. You know, I'm not going to get into it, but that's what happens. So Apple Pay kind of came up with this idea. Well, what if we were to come up with a way that we can take the phone and take a picture of the card, and then we can encrypt that data with some keys such that the card number doesn't get shown. The card doesn't ever have to come out of the wallet. The information is encrypted on the front end and the back end, so that when the transaction goes through in the system, that you know, the person whose card it is gets charged for the item. The merchant gets his you know, tick approved, and then the customer gets protected with security, additional security, so he doesn't have to deal with all this fraud and have to like dispute the charges and go through that hassle. Okay, so that's why Apple Pay came about. Well, It's also available on Android Pay, and that's the fundamental background technology of how these devices work. So when you have this on your device, that means with Apple Pay, for example, let's say we have 3 customers. One guy's got his Visa card on his iPhone. The next guy has his MasterCard encrypted into his Android Pay. And I am the 3rd customer, and I have my in my web wallet, okay, which is just another wallet, just like those other ones. It's built on the same exact technology as the other things. Same encryption, same protocols, etc. on the back end. So what happens? We all 3 go into the store, and we each buy something. You know, customer 1 buys something, tick, 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 approved. Customer 2 buys something, tick, 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 approved. Customer 3, which is me, buys something, tick, 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 approved. All right. Now, people in general spend more when they use cards. All right. This is a known fact. So merchants love credit cards, and they love simplicity. They love to be able to just have somebody wave their phone over their little device, and it takes the information from your phone, encrypted, sends it off to the cloud, gets the approval, comes back. They love that. All right. Does the merchant care if you use Visa and I used MasterCard or Dascoin? Does he even give a rat's behind? No, he doesn't. All he cares about is ticky, ticky, tick. He's got notification from the network. He's going to get paid. Therefore, you're walking out with a loaf of bread. You're walking out with a 50,000 Mercedes. You're walking out with whatever, the $10,000 diamond ring. That's how it works. Okay. Now compare that to Bitcoin. Hey, you go and buy a $50,000 car with Bitcoin. First of all, do they even accept it? Doubt it. Then if they do accept it, great. Then I got to sit around and wait anywhere between half an hour to 30 minutes, or maybe 3 hours to get the confirmation. You know, are they going to let me drive away with the car until it gets confirmed? No, they're not. All right, so let's talk now about wallets. All right, so let's talk about wallets. If you look inside the ecosystem within DasPay, we have a system where there are web wallets. Now, this is where the people that have come on board and supported this idea, the Dascoin idea, and the Dascoin company, they have given their energy to them in the form of fiat money, of Bitcoin, to get a position, to get a license. They turn those cycles over, which get rewarded to the individual for that license, and then the cycles get used within the network to handle the demands of the transactions that are coming through the network, and they handle all the scalability and et cetera, okay? As a reward, you get these coins. Now, these coins get metered out to you into your web wallet. You don't get them all on the first day. This is something a little bit different. You get them out in a week. You get them out, metered out in a weekly way, okay? So the coins that you are rewarded with are delivered on, you accrue them on a daily basis, but they're actually delivered to you at the end of each week. All right. So you get a nice chunk of coins in your new wallet every week, just by being an investor in this platform. And then what can you do with them? Well, it is just like any other wallet. Okay. You know, if you do a search on Google for Bitcoin wallets, I'm going to show this slide here next. You know, there are, let's see, 5,130,000 results for that search. All right. So guys, there are so many different wallets out there that are available. The first slide that we showed was my Coinbase wallet. It was a picture of my phone and my Coinbase wallet. The web wallet is just another wallet, guys. There's thousands of other wallets that you can pick from and choose from. Each one has its own little things you might like. You might have a better UI, user interface that you like. You can choose that wallet over the other. We're going to talk about wallets and that. And, you know, for example, like I use Coinbase wallet. You know, as an American, Coinbase is an American company. I can buy Bitcoins with that wallet also. I can trade with the exchange in Coinbase. So there's a lot of features that Coinbase has with that. That's cool. However, if I give somebody Bitcoin in Mexico, the protocol is that when they receive that Bitcoin, if they don't have a wallet, then they get prompted to install the Coinbase wallet, which is fine. It's just another wallet. That's all it is. But you got to remember there's zones that come to play within the regulatory environment of monetary systems and so forth. So, for example, let me explain. When I was in Maryland and I was using Coinbase, well, I didn't have access because Coinbase, the exchange portion wasn't approved by the state regulatory people in Maryland. So therefore, I couldn't trade using the Coinbase app and trade and buy Bitcoins on the exchange. I could still buy it from my bank account though. When I changed location to Massachusetts, then all of a sudden, then Massachusetts regulatory rules said that I can use the exchange. So now the Coinbase exchange opened up. Now let's go to Mexico. Let's say I give $10 worth of Bitcoin to a friend, and he installs Coinbase wallet, and then he goes to try to buy Bitcoin in Mexico. Well, no, it won't work. See, because Mexico is a separatory element, a separatory United States of Mexico, and they have their own little rules, and therefore Coinbase, you can't buy Bitcoin. You can't use the exchange. Those are just two extra features of the wallet itself. But you can still use the wallet. You can still transfer and receive Bitcoins used in that wallet. You can still track the price of Bitcoin. So you can still use it. So that's what I'm trying to talk about here. Wallets are just tools. That's all they are, guys. Just like the hammer. I mean, just like the nail, just like the saw. I mean, if you leave the hammer in the toolbox and you just expect that the house is going to get built without picking up the hammer, well, they're just tools, and how you use them, you have to educate yourself. You have to understand how they are, what they do, what's the best thing. Like if I'm going to use a hammer, well, I'm probably going to drive nails in with it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to rake the yard with my hammer, because that would be kind of dumb. So you got to use the right tools for the right thing. So there's a lot of choices, and this is just another area of choice. And there's plethoras of choices with regards to wallets. And things you got to evaluate are things like security, how secure is the wallet, et cetera, et cetera. Most of these wallets, if they're Bitcoin wallets, are super, super secure. And this wallet that the DasPay system uses, called WebWallet, takes all the best of Bitcoin wallets and presents it in that package. It's a fully decentralized wallet, which means once the coins are in my wallet, guess what? Solved, and the keys are mine, and I'm keeping track of them. And guess what? You can try all day long from here till eternity to try to crack that puppy. Go for it. It ain't gonna happen. All right, you're not gonna get into my Bitcoins. You're not gonna get into my Dascoins. Okay, so it's very, very, very secure. In the history of Bitcoin, nobody has ever been able to brawl it, okay, and steal their Bitcoins. They have broken into exchanges, they have done things like that, so that is part of the story, but you gotta do a little more research there. All right, so that's what I'm talking about wallets now. I am gonna take a quick break and talk about some other things while we're on the subject, and I'm going to show you myself. Okay, you see here, this is a hardware wallet. This one, I have no affiliation with this, but a friend of mine brought me this a week ago. It's called the Ledger wallet. Take a look at this bad boy. All right, what is it? Well, it's just a piece of hardware, okay? And inside here, you have some chip technology. Looks like the same chip that, see that? Just like the chips on the cards, on the credit cards that you've seen. All right, now, what gets put on this chip? Well, they have a really unique system in the sense that you can take your Bitcoins. Let's say I had a bunch of phone. It's probably not the wisest thing to do. I don't need to have, let's say I had 10 Bitcoins in my Coinbase wallet. All right, great. Is it wise for me to carry around 10 Bitcoins on my phone? First of all, even if someone stole my phone, they can't steal my wallet, because there's provisions you can set up inside the wallet itself that say, like, whenever you transfer Bitcoin, you need to use two-factor authentication if it's above 50 bucks. All right. If it's a small transaction, less than 50 bucks, no, you don't have to use that. But you can set all these little things up inside and tailor it to what you like to do. Now, let's say I had 10 Bitcoins in this wallet. Well, that would be approximately, $7,500 US. Is it wise to carry that much around with me on a phone? Probably not. So maybe what I would do with that, and I can have multiple wallets now. There's nothing that says I have to have, just one wallet on my phone, guys. I can have multiple wallets on my phone. I can also have multiple hardware wallets like this, and I can load the Bitcoins right onto here. It's protected with an additional security measure that they use these special cards that have these additional codes on the back, so that this is unique to this wallet only. Okay, so in order to access this bad boy, you have to have not only this, but you have to have the card, okay, to be able to get this out. So if you're somebody with quite a bit of means, and you have a little bit of scratch laying around, and you want to put it into Bitcoins because Bitcoins are going crazy, well, guess what? You can put it on one of these bad boys and put it in your safe, and you're good to go. Okay, no one's going to mess with it. So that's just a little bit about wallets. We're going to get into a lot more about these details, and we're going to bring in lots of other experts who really know this stuff. I'm just a user. I'm just a guy that knows about Bitcoin, been using it for a while, practical stuff. This is what it's all about, guys. Just talking, spreading the love. All right, so that's that on wallets. Now, let me go back to the slides. All right, so everyone see that? Good. All right, here we go. So where are we now? This is just a representation. If you go to Google Play, and you're not going to find the actual web wallet, I just created this graphic using the same graphics that are available from the Dascoin team, and made that because it's still, it's still some of the, the graphics that the company is providing are going to be coming shortly. I'm not going to go into a lot of this here, but I want you to research this. I want you to go onto the Dascoin Diamond website, and you can click on the About page. It'll take you right to the Dascoin main site. If you have any inkling into this information and you think this is kind of cool, kind of interesting, do your due diligence, guys. See, we've got a great team. George with WebWallet, Michael with Dascoin, the CEO, the financial aspect of this, Terry, John working on the marketing side. The leadership team with this company is phenomenal. All right, I'm not gonna go into that. There's a lot of technology also behind this company, and in particular, Blair Baker is a guy you got to watch. Okay, he's like a Max Kaiser. Okay, he was creating exchanges when people were learning how to spell the word exchange. All right, and he is a very powerful man, and he knows how to build powerful software. He is the architect, along with his programming team, that have built the the Dascoin exchange system, which I'm going to go over here shortly. What the timeline is when that's going to be launching. But please look at this information and do your own due diligence and research into this man. All right. Another thing that's unique about this company is that it's a very effective marketing. They chose the model of using network marketing and using people who, like ideas, and they talk about it. If you go to a new restaurant in a town, you know what? And it's the best lobster you've ever had in your life. You know what you do? You tell your friends, okay? You don't usually get a commission out of that, or you don't get any, you just tell your friends because it's the best darn lobster that melts in your mouth, and you got to eat it. You got to have it. All right, well, the network marketing things, people know the power of word of mouth marketing. When people get behind stuff and their hearts are behind it, and it really means something to them, and they see the value not only to them, financially they see a value for getting involved, perhaps, but they also see the benefits to society in general. Like I said, the benefits to this is that the decentralized model is so much safer, guys. I mean, look at what happened with 2008 with Obama and the whole printing of trillions of dollars and money, and they haven't solved anything. Deutsche Bank is still in dire straits. They're probably going to fail any minute. I mean, Italy's leaving the EU. Brexit, they left. I mean, we've got all kinds of things going on in India, the war on cash. We've got stuff going on in Venezuela, hyperinflation of things. I mean, just look around, folks. I mean, there's plenty and plenty of information to show you the monetary system that these geniuses have created is getting ready to fail totally. All right. So what did the Dascoin team decide to go with the traditional corporate model? You know, like, hey, let's put up tons of billboards and let's buy like millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of advertising to brainwash the masses so they'll use our coin. No, they chose another model which says, hey, let's keep it decentralized. Let's keep it with the people. Let's keep the energy with the people. The people that share this information, the people that get this out are the ones that get rewarded. Okay? And it's more effective. And it costs less and it's more effective. So it's more efficient. So that's what I'm going to say about that. So let's talk about the difference here if you want to get involved. There's two ways to do it. You can be an advocate. I'm an advocate, okay? I'm an advocate. I've been talking about Bitcoin for years amongst my friends and things like this. And honestly, there's been no incentive for me to do that other than just because I love it. Now, what about, what about Ethereum? Okay, yeah, well, I invested in that too. Did I get it? I mean, I did that because there was, I first of all liked the idea and I wanted to support it. Okay, I've invested in Mega Upload 2 with Kim.com because I like the idea and I want to support it. Okay, I've invested there because I like the idea. I like to support it. Okay, that's where I can put my energy. See, I put my energy where I want to. It's my property, my energy, my work, my dollars, my thoughts, my whatever. Okay, and that's where I choose to put them. That's a lot of this is about is personal freedom, guys. Where do you want to put your energies? What kind of systems do you want to support? Ones that are safer, decentralized, that people get to save their energy, or are we talking about continuing to support systems that steal from people, that steal the money out of banks, that take high fees to transfer money back and forth? This day and age, it still takes 5 days to transfer money. Are you really kidding me? I mean, these people are so behind the times that their days are numbered. I really believe it. So you can become an advocate, which means that if you like the idea, great, you can continue to promote it. And I'm in team. We have plenty of tools to help you, and a community that is supportive and supporting vitality and love and care, because we know that if you get involved with this and you help spread it, guess what? There's going to be rewards for you and your family. Oh, good. It's a win-win situation. Nobody loses. Now, the only people that lose are the existing paradigm, okay? And they're like the dinosaur. They need to go. The other way is as an investor. You can just invest. You can just put your energy in the form of licenses into the system and get rewarded with coins and have a wallet and spend the coins, which is your property, as you see fit. You don't have to tell a soul. All right? Those are the two options. You can do either one. Here are the growth projections of where Dascoin is going to be. I'm not going to really pontificate about this, but it's looking nice. There's so many nice things about this coin. They've really put such a great package together here, guys. This is one that really is being predicted. It's going to take digital currencies mainstream. When that happens, for example, they're saying when Bitcoin goes mainstream, when we hit 1%, they're saying the price of Bitcoin should be 2,000 to 5,000, just based on simple economics. All of a sudden, if you have 1% of the people, that's 350 million, or no, 70 million, excuse me, 70 million people of the world's population using Bitcoin. The price should be between $2,000 to $5,000. All right, that makes sense, because right now it's around 700, and only half the world's population is using, or half of 1% is using it. If you go to 2%, then you're talking like $5K US dollars for Bitcoin. So if you have, but again, Bitcoin has all these challenges. So still, Bitcoin is being valued at this level. But what about this one? What about Dascoin? It can do all these other things. You can spend it. You can have it. You can take Dascoins almost anywhere. I can load Dascoins onto my wallet and go on vacation and spend them at 50 million merchants worldwide, and nobody knows that I'm using Dascoins. You see what I'm saying? And it's really that some people are predicting that this is going to blow wide open the digital currency revolution and take it mainstream. And when that happens, gosh, who knows? Who knows where these numbers are going to go? Here's the roadmap. This is where we are. There have been a couple delays, minor delays with some transitions here, going from the affiliate stage to the binary stage. That's more internal stuff. Next big milestone here that we're looking at is the big event in Hong Kong, which is coming up on the 14th of January, where the actual emissions of coin begin. This is where people that have made investments up to this point get to submit their cycles to the company and allow them to be available to scale to the needs. You know, as the traders find out about this, they're going to be wanting to use this system. So they're going to be wanting to use the transactional capacity of the system. Therefore, what's going to happen? Well, they're going to add more and more cycles to the system to put more and more nodes out there to support that demand. That's going to drive the price of the coin. All right, so we're going to see the price of the coin, open up here as the futures market exchange opens in January, and then the actual physical exchange where people can go and sell their coins on an open exchange like Polynex or Bittrex or one of those exchanges. I don't know which ones yet. They haven't told us, but most likely it'll be probably one of those, are the two biggest ones. That's when, if you have coins, you can sell them on an exchange, or if they're in your wallet, you can just go spend them and use them. So that's the roadmap. We are going to talk briefly about packages. I know we went over this last webinar, but the packages, what these are in essence are licenses and ways to get into Dascoin, ways to make money with Dascoin. Okay, so let's talk about the $5,000 package real quick. 5,000 euro package, for example. It's going to be showing up on the left-hand side. Right now, there's currently a 15% bonus on the cycles that you receive. That if you invest 5K in euros, equivalent in Dascoin, you will get these number of cycles, 74,000 cycles. What you do is you divide that. You have to multiply by the upgrades. Okay, so in this case we get 2 upgrades. So you take the number 74,750 and you multiply it times 2 upgrade. Then you multiply it times 2 again. That's a second upgrade. That gives the total number of cycles that you get rewarded. Then you divide that by your frequency lock, which is, I'll explain in a minute, but the frequency lock in essence is a built-in reward system. So people that get involved earlier, they get more rewards. That's it. That's all it is. People that got to America first, they got bigger plots of land. Okay, and some of the features here are the web wallet. You see the differences in the levels of the web wallet. What that means is the level 5 versus the level 7. That in essence, the way I like to describe that is it's like a faucet. That's all it is. Remember I said that when you provision your cycles to the company, they then allocate those to the network and put out the nodes that are required. They know that. We don't know that. We don't know what the demand is for the transactional capacity of the system. So they're the ones that are putting more nodes out there available. So the amount of coins that you get has to do with what position you have or what stake you come in with the company. And it's the size of the faucet. So remember I said that the coin reward you get is paid out weekly. So it accumulates on a daily basis, and then you get the reward at the end of the week. So with a level 5 wallet, you're going to get more coins out than a level 3 wallet. With a level 7 wallet, it's a larger faucet. It's just a bigger hose. That's it. It's a bigger hose. That means they're going to be getting more coins per day. At the end of the week, they're going to have the ability to pull out more coins and either put them onto their wallet, or once the other exchange opens in early spring next year, they can trade them. They can sell them right on the exchange if they like. Okay, so I did get into this nuts and bolts. The cycles again, you can read through this, pause the slide if you'd like to read it. I'm not going to go through it, but basically cycles are the energy, the power that support the network. Just like with Bitcoin, you've got to support the number of transactions that are happening. You got to support the confirmations, and you got to support mining. So that's what's going on. We don't have the mining because the minting is what Dascoin does. They do minting, device mining. It allows you to have a much larger number of coins available. By the way, I did forget to mention, there is 8.6 billion coins that are going to be released in the Dascoin system within the next 12 years. So it is a limited number, just like the 21 million in Bitcoin. If we have expanding demand, we should therefore see a rising price. Simple economics. All right, so here we go. Nuts and bolts of the licensing system. It's just another name, another word of the way to get in. Okay, you can pause the slide here, read this, go ahead, that's fine. But they're just calling it a license. You have to, in order to get into the system, you have to buy a license which allows you to provide cycles to the network. That's what it's about. The frequency, we talked about this. The frequency cap, what that is a built-in reward system for action takers. So those who see the opportunity, the earlier they see it, I think there's about 7 more days. We're at 4.3 at the moment. What happens is with that frequency cap, remember as I described earlier, and I'll go back up here, remember these numbers. Okay, so we're at a 4.3 right now. 4.3 means that with a 5K position, you get approximately around 70,000 coins. If you do the math, like I described just a few minutes ago, take the number of cycles, upgrade it twice, which means times it by 2, then times it by 2 again, and then divide by 4.3. You get about 70,000 coins. Okay, so the price per coin, if you were to look, let's say somebody came in with 10K, 2 $5,000 packages. They would control from 140,000 coins. All right, with those 2 positions. So they invest 10,000 euros. So the price per coin for their buy-in is approximately 14 euro cents per coin. Everyone follow me on that? 14 cents, basically 140,000 coins divided by 10,000 euros, you get 14 euro cents per coin. So going back to this chart, remember up here, talking about the growth. So imagine, when the exchange goes live, will you sell your coins if they're at 7 cents a coin? Will you sell them if they're at 14 cents? I won't. Will you sell them if they're 28 cents? Will you sell them at 50 cents? Will you sell them $1? When will you sell them? When will you put them on the exchange and sell them? That's up to you. You can decide. And we don't really know where the price is going to go. But I mean, if you look at things like Ethereum, if you look at other ones that have come out that really show some promise, there's a lot of interest and people get behind them. I mean, Ethereum popped to like $20, $21 a coin. Okay, so is that possible with Dascoin? Oh, absolutely. But I can't say. I don't really know. The market will determine that. Those are the packages, the cycles, the license, the frequency cap, the upgrades. Again, what that is just a doubling. So if you have a package that has 2 upgrades, that means you double once and then double again. It's a really, really nice feature. If you have the highest package, you get 3. So you get to double once, double twice, double 3 times. That's where you get the greater number of rewards. You'll notice this banner. You're going to find this if whoever sent you to this video or whoever sent you to this training. Remember, we use a network marketing model, which means that we reward the people we reward who are spreading the word about this. So, for example, with our teams, we're providing them with tools that if they share a link, then when they land on the page to buy a license, well, your affiliate information and your username and so forth will be coded in there automatically. So when they go to buy the license, you're going to get credit for it. That's how it works. Now, if you're finding this information and nobody sent you here because you're just doing an internet search, well, that's great. Then come on board. We will take care of you in the Dascoin Diamond team. Look around. This is where we're helping. We're sharing a lot of information. And but I do want to remind you about this. This is very important. When you get to that page where you're given the opportunity to make the decision of whether you're going to buy in or not, this number is very, very important because when the frequency cap changes, that number typically gets bigger. So instead of dividing by 4.3, you divide by 5. You divide by 6. You divide by 8. You divide by 10. It's going to get, the rewards are going to get less and less as time moves forward. So getting into the future now, these are some very famous people now talking about financial transactions and how they're going to be universal and free. Well, just like Skype is. I mean, he brought us Skype. This is the guy who brought Skype to us. I can call India, China, Norway, and have a conversation with all three of them at the same time, real time for free. Oh, wow. How nice is that? But if I want to send those same people, you know, $10 as a tip, or $10 or $100 or whatever, just because I feel like it, you know, I'm looking at a week's wait, and I got to go to somebody like Western Union who's going to scalp me and take you know, a nice fat chunk of the change, and I don't like that anymore. So I don't support that model, you know, unless I'm completely forced to do it. That's why I'm a Bitcoin user. All right, virtual currencies, they hold promise, long-term promise. So this is a guy that's saying this. You know, I mean, this is a guy that's pretty well respected within the financial circles. So take that for what it's worth. Now let's get back into some of the philosophy here. I do want to say this because this is super, super important. And this is where I want to connect with you. All right. This is where I want to connect with you, because the implications of things we're talking about right now, they're big. All right. These are big implications. And this is why they're shaking in their boots, fellas, ladies. This is why the banking system is freaking out. Okay. This is why the IRS is trying to go after Coinbase to get all the users' data, because they have three cases, two companies and one person that allegedly have been using Bitcoin to avoid taxation. So they want literally millions, no, not millions, but hundreds of thousands of users of Coinbase. They want to be able to go in and get 3 years worth of every single transactional data from every single user. They want their name, their this, their that, all this stuff. You see that that's an invasion in privacy? Do people see that? Okay, so recently I tweeted about this. If you look at my Twitter, I tweeted about a new report that just came out on Fox News yesterday about this. A guy countersued. He says, no freaking way. Sorry, pal. That's my property. My privacy, my data is my property. Coinbase has it. Guess what? I'm going to sue you. I'm suing back the IRS. Okay? I'm going to sue you. And they're doing it in California. Well, guess what? This is going to mushroom everywhere, guys. I want everybody who's got a Coinbase account to go find that case in California and look at it. I'm most likely going to sue them myself, because I don't like the IRS, number one. Okay, and they have no right to my property. You know, if you understand what freedom is, and you understand if you look at the United States Constitution, and you understand that private property is the prime reason that we established government to begin with, to protect and preserve property. So when someone asks you, you know, what's this? What's that thing? Oh, that's my little dinger bell thing. Yeah. Oh, is that your dinger bell? Yeah. Is that? Well, I don't know what you believe that is. I don't know what you're calling that. That's my property, my friend. Okay. What about this? Oh, is that your phone? I don't know what you're calling this, buddy, but this is my property. I paid for it. I don't know. You can call it whatever you want. I believe this is my property. Get it? My Bitcoins, my property. My thoughts, my ideals, my webinar, my property. Okay? You want to mess with my property? Go for it. We are a nation of law to support us. So I'm going to be suing Coinbase. I might sue Coinbase too. I might sue Coinbase and the IRS at the same time. And I will certainly post that lawsuit for everyone else to copy, so that everyone else can sue them too. And it's going to be very simple, very straightforward, common law lawsuit. Imagine if the IRS has to answer thousands and thousands of lawsuits in every single state in the United States and abroad who are using Coinbase. They might think twice next time they mess with people. All right, so thinking about choices now. Sorry, I can pontificate about all this stuff, but you know, really, this is what it's about, guys. It's about choice. Where are you putting your energy? Do you want vitality? Do you want to live in a land where people can send money back and forth to their families? You know, because the IRS here, they're going after one alleged person that might have avoided a tax, and you got 2 businesses that allegedly might have avoided a tax by using Bitcoin. So now they want to go and they want to literally take the data from tens of thousands of users, every single transaction, every single thing. They want to look into every little wad. They want to go through. First of all, they're completely incompetent. Sorry, guys, but you are. All right. And, you know, part of me wants to say, yeah, Coinbase, just give them all the data. They'll never figure it out. You know, 10 years from now, they might figure it out. But by then, you know, they're going to be irrelevant, most likely. But where we're going, guys, is we're trying. No, we're not trying. We are. We're doing. We are doing. All right. We're changing the world. And that's what these digital currencies can do. So choose wisely, people. Choose wisely where you put your energy. All right. It makes a big difference. Because when families are sending, and they can only afford to send $100 back, you know, to their family, they're up working in some other country, and they have to send it via Western Union, and they're getting scalped, you know, because they send $100 and the only $90 arrives, and you got to wait in a line for, you know, 3 hours, and then you got to wait in a line on the other end to get the money. You see how inefficient and stupid that system is? You know, you could do it with Bitcoin, or you could do it with Dascoin, you could do it with other cryptos. You could send that money back and forth electronically instantaneously. With Bitcoin within 30 minutes, with Dascoin within 6 seconds, okay? Transacting back and forth between wallet to wallet capability. I'm sure that'll be part of the roadmap. I don't know exactly, you know, I think it's mostly for just spendability right now at the tiendas and at the stores. But, okay, so today what we've talked about is wallets, okay? Wallet technology. We've talked about the different forms of wallets on the phone. You can do hardware wallets. You can take your information that's stored on the wallet, the private keys. You can print all that stuff in paper. That's called a paper wallet. You can take a paper wallet. You can save all that in your safe. So you have all the details of where your coins are, what wallet they're in, what the web address, etc. is. You can really, if you want to spend a little bit, I mean, these aren't that expensive. They're like less than $100, I think. And get a hardware wallet, you know, and put your stuff on here and keep it in your safe. There's plenty of ways to protect yourself, but you have to be smart. And I do want to show one more thing, because look, guys, there's a lot of bad people out there, and they're looking for the easy way out. Okay, they're looking for ways to steal. All right, they're looking for ways to hack. I mean, San Francisco subway just got hacked, and then they you know, they demanded a ransom in Bitcoin. Honestly, that doesn't give a good that's not a good PR piece for Bitcoin, honestly. Okay, so but anyway, it shows the vulnerability. They hacked the entire subway system so that they had to make subways for, you know, free for months, or, you know, until they figure out how to resolve this. But, you know, other people get hacked too. I mean, I've had personal friends that get hacked. All right, and I'm going to show you a couple things here. You know, I use something here. It's called LastPass. All right, and this is a tool that talking about hacks. I mean, again, 437,000 results of Bitcoin hack stories. All right, different places getting hacked. You have to know what you're doing with crypto. You have to make the investment in time. The nice thing about the DOS system is that they really protect people. You know, to get set up to accumulate Bitcoin, you have to mine it. You have to do all these things. It's kind of technical, or you have to go into a mining pool, or you have to go to exchange and buy it. You know, and everywhere along the way, you have these little roadblocks that trip a lot of people up. You know, with the DOS system, with the Dascoin system, you don't have that. All you do is come with your energy in the form of Bitcoins or money, and you take a bank wire and you get involved. They issue you the coins directly to your web wallet. You know, you turn over the provisioning. You basically give them the cycles, and that's it. That's as easy as it gets. So it's a real simple way to get into cryptos without having to deal with all the crap related to mining Bitcoins and everything else. So I think that's going to be a very, very important element. I'm going to do a full, this webinar has gone on quite a while, so I'm not gonna labor on too much longer. But you know, I talked about LastPass. When you're talking with these cryptos, password security is very, very important. A lot of people are what I call, they're entering into this this condition where they have like password overload. Accounts that we have, you know, you have your email account, you have your this, you have your bank account, you have your that, you have your online whatever account, you have your YouTube account, you have your freaking your Facebook account, everything's got its own password. So what do people do? Well, they tend to consolidate because they're lazy, because they don't want to forget their password, because then they got to reset it, and then it takes too much trouble. Well, guess what? So what do people do? They start keeping the same passwords on multiple accounts. This is a bad idea, guys. Really, really bad. In one area, then all of a sudden they can get into all your accounts. And guess what? Then maybe you might have used the same password on your Bitcoin wallet. You see where this goes? All right. So I use this in the description for this. It's called LastPass. All right. It's a service. I happen to use the enterprise version because I do a lot of stuff with you know, different folks helping different projects, and I pay different people, and I have to give people access to tools, for example, that I own. And in order to give them access to that, I can share passwords using the enterprise version, and it's only $60 a year, guys. It's a $5 a month. Okay, it's so cheap. And if you look at what it does from when I go and create a new account, for example, let's say I jump on and create a Poloniex account and do some trading. Well, it keeps track of all my username and password information. It generates a new password for me. It does it in a highly randomized way with all the special characters, numbers, etc. And it takes care of it all, and it keeps track of it. And it keeps track of it all in my vault, okay, which is all under HTTPS. It's secure. And all I need to remember is one master password. So it's congruent with the same idea that you guys have of keeping one master password. But what it does then is that one master password you can protect and make super, super strong, okay? And you can have access to all these multiple accounts, because within my LastPass, for example, when I go to Poloniex and I go to log in, it says use this account. And I say yes, and it loads the username. So it does it automatically. You know, the amount of time it takes just to type in your passwords is maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds. They've done studies. If you have to log into like 10 accounts a week, it's probably more like 10 accounts a day for most people, that you're taking anywhere from 15 to 20 to 30 seconds per account to log in. You know, that's just a lot of extra minutes. If you look at it at the end of the month, that you're just sitting there, you know, complying with this silly password protocol. You can do it with LastPass, for example, and cut that time and be that much more efficient. I mean, I'm not sitting here putting passwords in all day. I have my system do it, okay? And it's well worth the money, because my time is worth money, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm sure yours is as well. So that's a huge shout out for LastPass. I love it, and it's a fantastic service. Other things that I want to talk about is two-factor authentication. I'm going to go, let's see. I don't know. I guess I can do it. If I click here, okay, this brings up what's called my Authy program. And let me see if I can drag it for some reason. Oh, there we go. Here it is. All right, so I click this little bad boy here. This is my Authy, okay? And then I type in my master password. What you want to do is you want to have everything that you deal with crypto, you want to have it in your two-factor authentication. Okay, you see here I got all these different accounts. I've got BitClub, Stamp, Bittrex. These are different exchanges. Bank to the Future. I've got my Circle account, Coinbase, FutureNet, Gold Money, Namecheap was where I do my domains, Poloniex Trading, Tether, where I put money in here and there. Okay, there's a lot. You can add multiple ones of these. And the way this works is, for example, let's say I want to log into my Coinbase. All right, well, I don't know why it's doing that. Probably because I'm on a live webinar right now. But normally what it will do is it'll generate a code for me, okay? And typically, if you're familiar with these codes, a lot of them are doing this now, where they send you the code to your phone or something. Then if you're in the middle of logging into something, if you don't have this set up, if you don't have the Authy app set up properly, then you have to stop what you're doing, go to your phone, get the code, find it, copy it, paste it, go over to your application, and it changes every 20 seconds. So you got to do this fast. Then by the time you get over there and you put the code in, it's changed. Then you got to go do it again. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. But if you use the app properly and study on how to do it, it can be really fast and really quick. So you grab the code, like when I go to login, off the app, boom, get the code, put it in, and then I'm in. So not only is my accounts all protected with super high protection with LastPass, but then I've got additional layer of security, which is the 2FA, which is the two-factor authentication. And then you can even add that, like I said, within Coinbase, for example. In order for me to send more than $50 worth of Bitcoin to somebody, let's say someone did get into my wallet, and then they tried to drain my wallet. Let's say I had $1,000 in my wallet, and they wanted to send it to themselves. Well, they go to try to do it, and guess what? They go to try to authenticate it. It's going to say, okay, sure, you can send it, go for it. Now give us the 2FA. And the 2FA codes are only generated for you. Okay, so anyone who has a 2FA set up, they have to have access to that number too. So trust me, it throws them off. They can't get you. They can't get you. All right. So that's a way to protect yourself. I've gone too long, and I really appreciate everyone's time. This webinar, the way we're doing these, guys, they are live. And you'll notice on the live webinar tab inside the Dascoin Diamond site, that's where you're going to find, and you can live webinars. We're going to keep doing these Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays every day. Maybe take a little break during the holiday season, camping, or when we're out in the wilderness. But I may pre-record some, because I can do that as well. And I may have those available for you to enjoy. We're blasting this out to the world, guys, because this is important, and this is why we're doing it. We're setting some things in motion here, and we're doing it. We are the change. Just like they say, just like Gandhi said, be the change you want to see. So put the energy where you want to see it. You want to see things change. You want to see less people waiting in line at Western Union. You want to see less people getting scalped. You want to see less Cyprians losing all their money. If you had 100 grand in your bank account and you were a Cypr, that may be the wrong term. And excuse me if I'm calling you the wrong name. But if you were in Cyprus and you had 100K in your bank, guess what? They closed the banks and they opened them up, and you had half. Ah, how lovely. They're doing the same thing in India right now, guys. They're stealing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're stealing people's property. Let's call it what it is. They steal. Okay. They put these banks together. They put these vaults. They put these. They make it really, really hard. To for the criminals to break in and steal from these banks. If you're a commoner, bulletproof vests and tanks and all these other things. But if you're a banker or a politician, well, you can just get in and steal whatever you like. So that's the way it is. I mean, those aren't. I'm not making that up, guys. Just look at the news. Look at Greece. What are they doing with Greece? Well, they print the money out of nowhere. Then they lend it to the Greeks, and then the Greeks can't pay it back because it's a ridiculous cycle out of control, where you need more and more money to be able to figure out how to be able to pay back the original money that you can't ever have it. It doesn't work. So then what do? Oh, well, we can't pay you back. Okay, well, great. Well, these islands over here look quite nice. We'll take these. We'll take this national park. We'll take that. What do you think, Chad? Those islands or the other islands? What do you think? That's what they do, guys. Okay? Wake up. This is what's happening. So spread this news, please. This is vital. This is vital to humanity. And I'm BitcoinTeo. I hope you found this information helpful and useful. There's more to come. There's thousands of us, guys. There's thousands of people just like me. All it takes to be able to become a Bitcoiner like me is to get inside, get educated, put your time and energy into it. You can learn. We have all the information. We have all the tools. We will train you. We will walk beside you. We will walk a mile in your shoes and carry you if we have to show you how to do it. I will personally give you Bitcoin if you need it. Okay? Just send me a request. Look on the site. You can get free Bitcoin. I have a guide on the bottom of this webinar that talks about some secrets about how you can make money with just a phone and a little bit of Bitcoin. Cents. And we can change the world, guys. We can. So it's up to us. And there are so many of us that they can't stop it. They cannot stop Bitcoin. They cannot stop digital currencies. They cannot stop it. It will not happen. So with that, I am wishing all of you a fantastic Friday. I've had a great week. It's been a very productive week. We're taking care of lots of stuff, lots of moving parts. But you know, sometimes they say when you move a lot of furniture, you bang a wall or two. You know, so please, guys, be mindful of that. Everything may not be perfect. You may get to one of these sites and the page might not work, or you know, the link might be broken, or who knows. Guys, there's a lot of moving parts with all this. So please try to have a little patience with that. And I will sign off at this moment. I want to thank everyone for attending. Please, this will be available as a replay for about 30 days. So share this video with your friends. Share this with people that you care about. Okay. If we don't take action, if we all just sit around and eat popcorn and bonbons and watch TV and complain about, you know, the fake news and about the system and about this and the other, well, you know, what are we going to get? We're going to get what we're going to get. But if we actually take some of the information in, if we allow it to sink into our consciousness, if we allow it to resonate, okay, if we give it the space it needs, if you feel what I'm saying, if you understand the philosophical implications to society, humanity, vitality, then hopefully you will make the right choice. You look at that yin and that yang that I put up there, and you will decide whether you're going to be on the side of right. Okay. I know that's pretty heavy, but let me go and see. We are open to questions. We have Q&A, and the way the Q&A works, guys, is this. While I'm doing the presentation, I can't be distracted with it. So what I do is don't pay attention to that portion of the show. And then at the end, when we go to the Q&A mode, let me get that off there. I beg your pardon. Beg your pardon. All right. Let's just do that now. I'll go to Q&A mode now, and I'm going to take a moment here just to get a drink of water and review some of the questions that did come in, and then I will do my best to answer them. And remember, guys, if you are watching a replay of this, the functionality of our system is such that we still can take your questions. So if you do have a question and you watch this as a replay and it's not the live event, don't worry. You can still type your information into the system, and we will get notification on it, and we will respond. Okay? We do care about answering your questions. And what we do is we do our best to, you know, if there's a lot of similar questions that come in, I try not to answer them one at a time. I try to look at the general trend and say, you know, hey, this is what I talked about, and this is what some of the concerns were, or maybe I didn't explain this very well. So let me just review here for a moment, take a quick breather, and then I will get back to questions. All righty. So it looks like some people have a little questions about the wallets. Okay, the different variations in the wallets. So let me differentiate with that. The wallets, for example, like I said here earlier, if I bring back up this slide, Okay, bear with me. Okay, so here you go. Like, let's talk Bitcoin first, because every coin typically has. So for example, if you have Bitcoins, you need a Bitcoin wallet. If you have Ethereum, then you need an Ethereum wallet. If you have Dascoins, then you need a web wallet. Okay. So each wallet is associated with a specific coin. Now, there are some wallets that might be able to handle more than one types of coins, like Coinbase, for example, is a application that I can have a Bitcoin wallet and an Ethereum wallet. Probably in the future, you know, they'll also offer a web wallet, you know, a Dascoin wallet. I'm not sure yet, but people are going to be supporting. You know, why do they have an Ethereum wallet? Well, because people have Ethereum and they want to spend it. That's why. So when people have Dascoins and they want to spend them, guess what? Coinbase probably will get on board if they're smart, and they will integrate with the DAS team, and they will integrate the wallet into their application also. So that describes that. Hopefully, yeah, I see Tom had that question, and then Ayula also had a question about that. So I see a couple other questions here related to wallets, and let me talk about that as well. Let's see. Mary's asking about the elements related to the faucet I was talking about. All right. Well, I'm going to jump off here briefly. Oops. Wrong direction. Remember the different levels of wallets. Okay. The highest level is a 7. And all that basically means is, think of it like this. You're walking down the street and you see a faucet sticking out of the side of a building. And it's a regular, like, garden hose faucet that you normally see. Okay. Let's call that one a level 1 wallet. All right. That one, you know, if you turn that thing wide open, it's only going to spray out a little bit of water. Okay. If I walk a little further down the street, then I come on one of these fire mains. You know, like this big Y thicken, those Y kind of things that have usually like a circle thing on the top of it. You can take that and open that puppy up, and you get more water out of it, right? Well, that's really what it is. You get the different levels of wallets, and the wallets are control basically the amount of flow. So with a larger license, you're able to access a larger stream of these coins, because you gave the company a larger number of that they could then provision and make available to the system to deploy more nodes, so that the traders could execute more transactions and trade their hundreds of millions of dollars for Japanese yen. Okay. And therefore, at the end of that week, if you have a level 7 wallet and the wallet represents a bucket, okay, like a big barrel, and you put that barrel underneath your wallet, you know, you open that puppy up and you fill up your wallet, which is representative of that barrel of water, you're going to have more water in that barrel at the end of the week than I would have if I had a level 5 wallet, because my hose is smaller. And even though mine's all the way open too, and I have the same size barrel, mine's only going to be half full, and yours is maybe going to be 3/4 of the way full. Okay. And what it's full with is coins that you can spend, which is your property. Okay. And it's totally secure. It's cryptographic. It's got codes. It's got cryptographic keys, both on the front and the back. So they can't steal from these wallets, guys. They never have been able to do it. So that's a little more about the wallets. And sorry I didn't explain that a little bit better, but hopefully that elaborates. I'm seeing other questions here. Looks like John has a question about security and the whole 2FA thing. Okay. I'm going to cover that again. and just go over that real quick. Just remember that with security, just review this page. Just go to Google and type Bitcoin hacks. 437,000 articles here where people have stolen Bitcoin, or they've done things and broken into exchanges that weren't secure, or this, that, and the other, or broken into the DAO, hacked into the DAO, stolen Ethereum, etc. There's lots of these stories. It all has to do with security. It all has to do with having a mindset that you got to be thinking 5 steps ahead, because criminals, the best criminals, that they don't get caught, right? Well, the smart crypto guys, they're the ones that are like trying to figure out ways to hack into stuff and get free money. And a lot of times it'll represent itself in something like this. They might break into your system when it's not protected by an HTTPS, or it's open, just a standard HTTP, which is hypertext transfer protocol. That's what it stands for. And what that means is if you're transferring information on HTTP without an S, then all that data that's going along that pipe is discoverable. So they can collect everything that comes along that pipe. So that's what they'll do, and they'll collect it. So maybe they get all the usernames, okay, of your database of people. Maybe it's 1,000, maybe it's 10,000. Who knows? Yahoo just got hacked for how many million people? A billion people? Oh my God! All right, so we have that. Now let's say they get the usernames. Then what they'll do is they'll sit on that and they'll say, hey, okay, maybe we get this little password generator guys, my password generator gurus over here, and they'll start generating, thousands of variations of passwords that they can try on each username account. You see, and you get a computer to do this, and a computer can actually run through like 1 million passwords in a freaking half a second and try them all, and they keep cracking it until they get in. All right. So now they get into your Yahoo account. Oh, well, okay, so we got in. Well, maybe this guy has a Coinbase account too. Maybe he's got the same username. Maybe not. I don't know. See, this is where it goes, guys. All right. So if you're not protecting yourself, you're a fool, and you got to take this stuff seriously. So it requires a lot of attention, and we're going to do full-blown security webinars with experts. I'm just a layman. I'm just a user. I'm a protector. I've never been hacked. Okay? I've never lost a cent to any of these hackers, because I take the time to protect myself and my family and my property, my Bitcoins, my Ethereum, my ideas. All right. So there's that. That was a fantastic question, John. Thank you for that. For my oversight, I apologize about that. And again, I will have a link to this LastPass solution if you want to check that out. The 2FA, that's all free, and all you have to do is just go into a. It's really integrated in most of these different accounts, so I highly recommend you do that. Like if you do have a Coinbase wallet, there is a provision in there where you can just dig into the settings and turn on 2FA, and then practically you can install the Authy app, or Google Authenticator is another one, and those work with these 2FA systems. And then when you go to log into your account, not only do you need your password, but then it'll ask you, hey, what's the 2FA, which typically changes every 20 to 30 seconds, and it's another layer of security. So there's a lot more that we can get into, though. How to go through paper wallets, how to set up and do these hard wallets. We're going to do training on that, guys. We definitely are. So stay tuned to this channel. Share it with all your friends. Hopefully we're bringing value. Hopefully we're doing this. We're doing it out of love, guys. We're doing this out of our hope for humanity. So with that, I'm going to conclude this webinar today. It's been quite a while, and I really appreciate everyone's time. I'm getting up on close to an hour and 40 minutes now. Wow. Okay. Again, guys, thank you for your attention and your time in this very, very important matter. And in the world as we see it, and I really encourage everybody to think about these choices that we have, because that's all it is. And if you can think binary and think black and white just for a little while, and make, try to put everything in that scope. and say stuff like, hey, is what I'm doing today with this money, am I supporting the white, or am I supporting the dark? All right, guys, thank you again for your attention and your time. Vitality, blessings to you all, and I bid you a farewell.